Good morning, everybody, and it is Wednesday today. Now, before we go on to writing our date, I have a quick message for mummies and daddies, and this is about First Penance and First Communion, and it's regarding baptism certificates. Now, you'll remember that I sent out a message recently asking for information regarding whether you wanted your child to make their first penance and first communion and when and where they were baptised. Now, if your child was baptised outside of Armagh parish, then we will need to see a copy of their baptism certificate. So that may involve ringing or writing to the church where your child was baptised to get a copy of that. And then it needs to be brought into school so we can photocopy it and then hand it back to you. Now, as I say, if you were baptised in Armagh parish, then we don't need that because it will be on the records for us to access, okay? So that's just an important message that you need to know. So let's look at our date. And as we said, it is Wednesday. It is Wednesday, the 3rd of March, 2021. Wednesday, the 3rd of March, 2021. Spellings then today, and I want you to say them before me today, so I'll give you a little time to say each one. Life. Told. Sold. Also. Always. Believe. Fall. Still. Small. Hello, collar, and million. Continuing to practice our O sound. Today in Sounds in Focus we are now at question 6, and you have to write the past tense of the verbs that are at the end of the line. So we have a sentence and it's sentences and they're missing words. Here are the words at the end: feel, hold, sell, and tell. You just have to change those into past tense and put them into the sentences. And the past tense versions of all of these words will be in the word list on the left-hand side of the page there. Question 7 then asks you to colour the matching adult and baby words the same colour. Now you might think, why on earth are we looking at adult and baby animals in the middle of our spelling work? But that's because that the baby ones have a lot of O sounds in them. So for example, gosling, piglet, duckling, all right? So you match the babies with the same colour as their parents. And that's our Sounds in Focus for today. Let's have a look at literacy. Today we are looking at commas, and really we are revising commas, boys and girls, because we looked at this earlier in the year. We're learning to use commas, or revising how to use commas instead of and when writing a list. So when you make a list and you put a lot of ands in it, it can get very boring. So for my holiday, I will need a beach towel and several pairs of shorts and some sunglasses. That's the first sentence there. So what we're going to do is take out some of the ands and put a comma in instead. But the one thing we need to remember is we don't take all of the ands out. We leave the last one in for your final thing on the list. So this sentence would then read, today I will need a beach towel, comma, several pairs of shorts and some sunglasses. So make sure you don't take all the ands out, leave one at the end. Now, you may have limited space to get all of that sentence rewritten here correctly. So if you want to do it on a separate page, if you want to write the sentences on a separate page, you can do that. So that's what you're being asked to do, to rewrite these sentences, taking out some of the ands and replacing them with commas. Now, I see a little trick question at the end. I like playing football and hide and seek. Now, would you put a comma in there? No, and this is a trick one because hide and seek is a game, so you don't count that and. So you have to keep this one. I like playing football and hide and seek. You would not have to make any changes to that particular sentence. But you still have to rewrite it. Moving on to time then, boys and girls, and you are doing really well at this. Everyone is doing really well at time. Unfortunately, in my house, nobody knows the time anymore because I keep stealing the kitchen clock. Haha. So when they ask me what time it is, I just say, it's time to make Mrs. McFadden a cup of tea. So far we have looked at o'clock, where the minute hand is pointing at 12. So this is 9 o'clock. And we have looked at half past, where the minute hand is pointing down at the 6. So it's now 9:30. It's not 9 o'clock anymore. 30 minutes have passed. Can you see that 30 there? So 30 minutes have passed. It's halfway around the clock. It's 30 minutes after 9 and it's 30 more minutes until 10 o'clock. Now today we're going to look at another past time. We are looking today at quarter past. So you will see here that the minute hand is pointing to the 3, but can you see that little number beside it? 15. That's a very helpful number to see. It isn't on every clock, but luckily it is on this one. And that tells you that it's 15 minutes after the hour. So 9:15 means 15 minutes past 9. You can see now it's almost 16 minutes past 9. The little hand keeps moving. And that means that 15 minutes ago it was 9 o'clock and now 15 minutes have passed. We are a quarter of the way around the clock. So think of this pencil as the minute hand, and when it moves a quarter of the way around this circle, that means quarter past something, or 15 minutes past. But we don't usually say 15 minutes past, we say quarter past because it's a quarter of the way round the circle. This would be o'clock, this would be 1 minute past, this would be 5 minutes past, 10 minutes past, 15 minutes past. Can you see that there? There's a light shining on it a wee bit. There we go, 15 minutes past. So 15 minutes past 9 and quarter past 9 are the same thing. And the minute hand points at the 3. And so today when you are doing your quarter past times, your minute hand will point at the 3, and that's your longer hand. It's going to point at the 3 to show quarter past, a quarter of the way around the clock. Now your hour hand will point just slightly after the hour, so a tiny bit past 2. Not like yesterday where we had to put it in between 2 and 3, but just a tiny bit past 2 because it's a little bit past 2 o'clock. And the same with all of your clocks. Quarter past 5. The large minute hand points at the 3, and the shorter hour hand points slightly past the 5. Now I know that's tricky for you to do on such small clocks, but try your best, sharpen your pencil before you start and it might help you a little bit. But usually I'll mark it right anyway if I think that you were trying to get it in the right position, because I know these clocks are quite small. Moving on to our digital clocks then, and we're back to the older style clocks from Monday that need 4 digits on them. And you can see here, quarter past 2 is 02:15 because it is 15 minutes after 2 o'clock. So we'll do the same with all of our clocks. Quarter past 5 will be 05:15. Quarter past 12, well, it has 2 digits to start with. It'll be 12 and then a 15 after the double dots. All right. So 15 is always going to go on this side, and your hour then is going to go on the left side. And reading as always, boys and girls, and some dog as well. And don't forget that little message I gave you earlier about baptism certificates. Contact the church where your child was baptised to get a copy of their certificate, their baptism certificate, unless they were baptised in Armagh. All right, talk to you tomorrow. Bye bye.